Back on the cheap seats here on WLCN 96.3 FM. Of course, you can listen to it or watch us online at WLCNonline.com. Along with Doug Rutter, the administrator at the Christian Village. Jeff Benjamin with you, filling in for Josh Komnick. And Doug, before we start thinking about wrapping things up here on this beautiful Saturday morning here in Central Illinois, we've got another trivia question. The prize is going to be the same that Rod just walked away with earlier this morning. We've got a couple passes to Knights Action Park. It's an all-day adventure day pass, unlimited miniature golf, use of the big wheel.
The big wheel.
Is that like the thing you used to say? Remember the coolest toy?
Yeah.
It wasn't just the big wheel. Remember you thought you were really cool if you got the one that had the brake?
The handbrake.
The handbrake and everything. Yeah, it slid into my mom's roses once, and that was the end of that. But Doug has their second trivia question of the day.
You know, the big wheel was great until the tire flattened on one side. And then it was... Okay, so from the desk of sports that no one cares about, we're going to have a trivia question. It's related to the men's national team, soccer national team. On Wednesday, the United States defeated Jamaica 1-0. We say nil. That's how it rolls. 1-0 to advance to the Gold Cup final tonight against Mexico. And the question is, who was the goal scorer in that game that sent the United States into the final? Who was the goal scorer for the U.S. men's national soccer team who scored against Jamaica to send us to the final? Call us at 737-3791, 217-737-3791, and let us know, and that tickets to tonight's Action Park could be yours.
Well, I tell you what.
I really got my radio voice on there. Did you like that? I thought I did that pretty well.
Yes, hello. Yes. But, we were talking a little bit about some of the foreign-born players in the NBA draft. Another foreign athlete, sports figure, because there's some folks that don't think golfers are athletes. Not me. Had a pretty good weekend last weekend. Probably had one of the best weekends that anyone's ever had at a major. And we talked about it at the beginning of the show. Rory McIlroy, is he the one that's replacing Tiger? My first question to you is, and to folks who want to call in at 737-3791, is why does the media seem so interested in finding someone to be the next Tiger? Have we gotten tired of the old Tiger?
Well, I think I think everyone recognizes that stars sell sports, and the question is, how many country club white guys does it take to sell golf? And we've tried that. And so what we need is a superstar. And everyone saw the pattern. Tiger Woods, he comes out of, he comes onto the scene, he takes the world by storm. And, everybody, every golfer realizes that they're richer now because Tiger Woods was a player. The purses have gotten bigger, the endorsements have gotten bigger, the game is bigger because of Tiger. And because we had this, single, iconic superstar presence, they need a replacement. With Tiger's fall from grace with his personal issues and his recreational activities, and his on the court, on the course struggles as well. He's not the same player that he was 3 years ago. He's not out there dominating. And when he goes, it used to be, you would have to ask the question: are you taking Tiger or anyone else?
Tiger or the field?
Exactly. Yeah. And now, even now, these players, like the Rory McIlroys, who are playing now, they have not played against Tiger at his prime. They've not played against the guy who intimidated the field, the guy who owned the course. It's hard to say this, but Tiger's just another guy out there to them. And so the media looks at a guy like Rory McIlroy, who's a young kid, who's very he's very good on camera, and then he rolls through the field like he did, and they go, there's our superstar. Let's get him on. Let's get him on a poster. Let's get him an endorsement deal. Let's get him on the television because he's going to sell our sport.
One of the things we talked about with not playing against Tiger in his prime, that was some of the criticism for those who would say when Tiger was just, bigger than the game, well, he's going to be bigger than Jack. He's going to be bigger than Arnie. And then there were always the critics that would say, but Tiger never played against those guys in their prime. The Masters, all the majors, it's always been, like you said, well, who's going to finish second to Tiger?
Mm-hmm.
But what has it been now? I think the last 11 majors, there have been 11 different winners.
Mm-hmm.
So is that good for golf? Or is that, are you wanting that one person that everybody can put their bullseye on and either get, because most of the folks I know that as far as for Tiger, most of them don't have a, meh, I don't care. It's either we really love watching Tiger, hope he does well, or it's the, I hope he falls on his face.
But at the end of the day, what the PGA cares about and what the folks of the network care about, they don't care if you love him or hate him. They care if you watch him.
Right.
And the reality is that people want to watch Tiger, and I would say I'm guilty of that. On a Sunday afternoon, if I'm sitting down in front of the television, if I'm going to watch golf, it's because Tiger's in that final group. It's because I see him wearing that red shirt, and I see all 63 swings that he takes. They may not catch, an approach shot from Phil Mickelson on 8, but every time Tiger stands over the ball, he's going to be on the screen, and it's going to be the same thing with this kid. But what I don't think everybody needs to jump, at this, because I think it's important to say this is one for Rory McIlroy. Okay, he's still 13 behind Tiger Woods, so let's not go crazy. And the reality is, nobody playing the game right now has more than 4 majors. So no one who's an active player has more than 4 majors. This is really hard to do, and I think Rory McIlroy was the beneficiary of a course that was laid out specifically for him, because everything was very soft and everything played right to his strengths, and it was a soft course for the field. You had 8 or 9 guys under par at a U.S. Open. That never ever happens. I mean, par's the score. You see U.S. Open winners at -1, -2, and to see this guy just crush the field and the course. This was a unique year, and so I think everybody needs to take a breath. Let's see what happens at the PGA. Let's see what happens at the British, and let's just let this play out a little bit, because again, I think the one thing that everyone has to realize is the one thing about Tiger is he's a competitor. And he went on TV and he said what he should say and probably what his publicist told him to say. But at the end of the day, Tiger's a competitor, and this is going to put him on the course more. This is going to get him fired up more. And, it's possible we'll see him back and roaring on the course again because of the weekend that Rory McIlroy just had.
Well, and one of the possible criticisms I've heard about McIlroy is, with Tiger, you knew that he was going to be playing some of these tournaments in between the majors. But with McIlroy being from Northern Ireland, is he going to be as visible in the U.S. as maybe a Tiger or a Phil or someone like that?
Well, I think once Rory's agent sees the appearance fees that Tiger Woods is getting and that he's going to get offered, I think we'll see him more and more playing in the Buick and playing, out at the TPC and playing at the Doral. I think we'll see him at some of those bigger second-tier tournaments.
And, of course, then he learns what Tiger's had to learn, that golf is not just something you'd have to be responsible for Thursday through Sunday all the time, and all the commitments where you might be out doing a practice round or two. You're doing public appearances, you're doing interviews, and then that's time that's kind of taken away from your golf game, and all of a sudden you have a bad weekend and they go, well, we knew he wasn't the next Tiger. Well,
the question is, Tiger managed that by being a jerk. That was his sort of approach, is he did, he was very brusque. He spoke to the media, but only when he absolutely had to. He only gave access to the reporters that were going to be, gentle to him, and he had a very brusque way with the media. Now, McIlroy, he's a completely different, sort of personality. He's very outgoing. He's very generous with his time. So will that be something? Will he be able to manage that, his natural personality, while at the same time recognizing that he's going to have responsibilities to get on the course, to keep practicing, and to keep getting better, because now he's the guy with the bullseye. I mean, he's the guy that everyone's chasing.
Indeed. We're going to get ready and take our final break here on a Saturday morning and talk about some of the things going on here at the Christian Village. Doug, looks like we may have stumped them on the soccer question. So as they're watching tonight in the final, who are they going to be paying attention to? Who was the one that scored that winning goal?
The goal scorer in the game against Jamaica was Clint Dempsey, player for he's one of the best players in the U.S. national team. The other players you're going to be watching tonight, you're going to be watching Landon Donovan, who's a great player, and Freddie Adu back was a huge prospect. When he was 17, 18 years old, has kind of wandered in the wilderness, but made his way back to the national team, so we'll be looking for him tonight, too.
Very good. We're going to take one final break here on this Saturday morning Cheap Seats. You're listening to WLCN 96.3 FM. Back on a Saturday morning edition of the Cheap Seats. Jeff Benjamin here with you alongside Doug Rutter, the administrator here at the Christian Village. And, you know, Doug, when Jim gave me a call and said, hey, do you want to fill in for Josh? I said, sure, no problem. I've got my Railer shirt on, and so I should be sitting in a gym. And I actually am sitting in a gym here at the Christian Village. This is a very nice facility you've got here. One of the newer, updated things here at the Christian Village.
Yeah, we're in our newly renovated therapy gym. Here, it's an expanded gym for us, and I was excited as we'd show it off a little bit. The folks who are watching online will see behind us, it looks like we're in a kitchen, but that's all part of the experience. In this gym, we provide physical therapy for our residents. So that is what you traditionally think of as therapy. So that can be exercises. We've got exercise equipment. We've got weights. We've got different types of things that, walking bars that you can walk on. And so that when you think of, therapy, that's the kind of thing that generally comes to mind. Range of motion, strengthening, those types of things. But we also provide occupational therapy, and that's the reason for the kitchen behind us. And basically, occupational therapy focuses on activities that you'll do every day. And so that could be just getting out of bed and getting into a wheelchair. That could be standing and cooking supper. That could be doing dishes. That could be taking a shower. And so when we expanded the gym, what we wanted to do was to add real-world environments where people could do those therapies. And so we added, a home-like kitchen here behind us where residents will they'll come in here and they'll go through the process of how do I safely put my groceries away, and how do I organize my pantry so that I'm not having to reach if I can't, reach a certain way, or how do I make sure that I don't have a fall when I'm getting into the shower and getting out of the shower. So we have a training bathroom here where folks with their therapists can practice those activities, and the therapists give them safe strategies for them to be able to stay independent, to do the things that they've always done, but do it in a way that keeps them safe with the limitations that they have because of their aging process. We also in this gym provide speech therapy, which has to do not so much speech is it's misleading, but that has to do with everything that happens with the mouth. So that could be individuals who are having difficulty, swallowing, or they're having, they're choking a lot because of what they're eating, or speech therapy also involves cognitive ability, so making good decisions and understanding when you're in danger and those types of things. And so we provide all those therapies. They're all on site. They're here 7 days a week, and we provide those for all of the residents that are here. And so we're really excited. We got to move from a very small gym now to this expanded gym. There's private treatment areas. There's offices for our managers. It's just laid out perfectly for what we do here, and we're really excited to have you guys and to be able to show it off a little bit.
What's been the feedback, especially from the staff point of view? What has been their feedback? Because they've got all this to use, and if it's a more open space and it's just laid out better and it gives the residents chances to do more things that maybe they didn't get an opportunity to do, I imagine it helps them work with the residents and say there's more things we can do now to help you be more independent. Absolutely.
Therapists love it because it gives them the space they need to be able to do the work they can. But also, the therapists have said this gym is completely different. It's completely different from our old gym. Our old gym had small windows at the top. There wasn't a lot of natural light. It was very closed in. This room's completely open. We got these huge 18-foot windows on both sides, a lot of sunlight. And what we're finding is that the residents actually want to be here. Even our residents who aren't excited about therapy and they don't, they may be on the fence about whether they actually want to participate and they actually want to get better. This is a room in the building that they want to be in because of the way it's decorated, because of the way it's laid out, because of the light. And so what we're seeing is a higher level of participation in therapy, which translates to faster recovery, which translates to people going home sooner. And so we've seen huge improvements, and it's just been great all around.
Very good. And so everyone enjoying the, and I think it's even just the naming of it. I mean, if you think of, well, here's the therapy room, it kind of has that medical kind of sound to it. But if it's, let's go to the gym.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's decorated enough to where it feels open and inviting, and we've tried to make it a space that everyone wants to be at, and we're seeing the benefits from that. So we're really excited and glad to have you guys here.
Certainly. Anything coming up over the next 3 or 4 months here at the Christian Village that you're excited about?
We're very excited about our renovations here continue to go on, and the next big milestone for us is reopening our lobby. We closed that down, and we're going to be reopening that. And it's been completely gutted, extreme home makeover style, and so it's going to be completely new. We've added a gorgeous stone fireplace, flat screen TV, brand new receptionist desk, and it's really going to be a much more welcoming and inviting environment for folks to come in. Creates a great first impression for our new residents and brings them into a place where they feel comfortable, where they feel like they want to be. It's very home-like, very consistent with who we are, which is very, very much at home. Simple, an at-home feeling, and that's what we're trying to create. And so that'll open up in the next couple of weeks. We're very excited about that. We're going to complete the first phase of our renovations. One whole wing is going to be completed. The rooms are totally redone. Bathrooms are totally renovated. The hallways are going to be completely done. And so we're really excited about all that work. That's going to be done in the next month. And so we'll really get to show off one complete hallway and to show people this is what the whole building is going to be like, and everybody's really excited about it.
Very good. Well, we certainly thank you for having us out here on this
great.
Saturday. And you talk about these windows and the natural light with this weather. I mean, you really get a sense of it just feels good to be in here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us here on this Saturday morning. We want to thank Doug Rutter, the administrator here at the Christian Village, for joining us. And what time's the soccer game on tonight? Soccer match, or is it a soccer game? I'm a game.
Whatever we want to. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is kickoff, and there'll be 91,000 people in the Rose Bowl, Pasadena, California. Fox Soccer Channel. Check it out.
Very good. For Doug Rutter, I'm Jeff Benjamin. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning edition of The Cheap Seats. Remember, you can watch us again online at WLCNonline.com. For Doug, I'm Jeff. Have a good Saturday. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you later.